Well, I'm very excited to be here and excited to see so much enthusiasm about arbitration in Armenia and celebrate the first year of AMCA with its full staff, and now some cases have begun to come in, and we have such a distinguished arbitration council and so many international arbitration experts here from around the world are joining us. So it's to see several hundred people here to talk about international arbitration and arbitration generally is very uplifting for me spiritually, I have to say. Well, as international trade continues to increase, parties on both sides of a transaction want a neutral means of resolving their dispute. They want the flexibility to have an arbitration tribunal that's knowledgeable about the kind of business that's being transacted, about the different national laws that may affect the transaction. It's the flexibility, the ability to have something that's cost efficient and responsive to the parties' needs that really, I think, has explained why arbitration has become so prevalent as a means of resolving international disputes these days.
Why people should choose arbitration?
Well, they should choose it because it can be whatever they want it to be. It can be as quick as they want it to be. If they wanted something just on the documents and have a quick decision that's available to them, they want to exchange a lot of information and have it take longer with more serious thought given by three independent, impartial arbitrators, they can have that as well. It really is so adaptable, unlike a lot of national courts, which sort of have a structure that applies to every one-size-fits-all cases, which is definitely not what we have in arbitration. Well, part of this is what I talked about in my talk, the keynote talk today, which, the independence and impartiality of arbitrators and mediators is really central. The parties need to have confidence that the people helping them resolve their dispute don't have a relationship with the parties, don't have a relationship with the lawyers. They're there for the parties to attempt to fairly and efficiently resolve their dispute. Well, I think one of the speakers today said arbitration has been around a long, long time. There's a tradition of sort of elders in a community resolving disputes among the more junior people in the community. I think when people choose an arbitrator, you want somebody with some familiarity with the business. But the most important thing is somebody who can be trusted, right? Who, in fact, has no relationship with any of the parties, who doesn't have a predisposition one side or the other, and whose judgment is respected. And I think, in smaller communities, people do know each other. A lot of people have gone to school together, they belong to the same social organizations, and one has a general sense of who the fair-minded people are, who are the thoughtful people, who are the people they can trust to make a fair decision. Well, it's efficient, the courts can take a long time. You may have a judge who may not have experience in a particular business or matter that you're talking about. Arbitration, you can tailor it to exactly the kind of dispute you want. You can get the kind of arbitrator you want. You can get a fairly quick decision. It allows people to, particularly if they have continuing business relationships, to resolve their disputes confidentially, right? These are private, confidential proceedings. It allows them to resolve their dispute, put it to one side, continue their business with minimal disruption and minimal sort of personal difficulties. It's a binding decision, but it doesn't often have the same kind of sometimes anger and tension that you see in a public court setting.
Okay.